Hello, this is Susan Poss again. I'm still working in section 10.5, and this is the sixth and final video from the first half of section 10.5. I've got another half to go after this. And this is where we put it all together. You're going to see several things happening here. So let me begin at where we began. This plus 2 on the end is going to give me a vertical shift up 2. The -6 inside the squaring is going to give me a horizontal shift that goes to the right. Remember, it's in the opposite direction when it's on the inside of the parentheses. And finally, let's see, what other color do I want to use? I guess I'll use this yellow. This +3 out here in front is going to cause this parabola to open up, and it's going to be more narrow because the absolute value of 3 is greater than 1. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can just sketch this out. I'm going to go to the right 6 and up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 2. That is going to be the vertex. And that is not right. There we go. I can already tell you that the axis of symmetry is going to run through here. And generally what I tell students to do at this point, because we need another point to get the curvature of the parabola, so I just generally look somewhere just to the right of the axis of symmetry or somewhere just to the left of the axis of symmetry. So I think I will choose, if I choose something, I'm looking right there. That x value that runs up and down there is an x value of 5. I could have chosen 7 because that would have been slightly to the right. Again, I try to choose an x value that is close to the axis of symmetry in order to get my second point. So, order of operations. Inside the parentheses first, squaring next, multiplying next, and adding last. All right, so that notation tells me that the x value is 5, and when the x value is 5, the corresponding y value is also 5. So I'm going to go plot the point 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is right there. And since I know that we have symmetry, I'm going to go right across this axis and plot a matching point just across that, what I call the fold line, the axis of symmetry. So I can quickly sketch in the parabola. Again, you see it shifted to the right 6, up 2, and it's more narrow because of the multiplier of 3, and it opens up because that 3 is positive. Did I get all my labeling done? I did not. My axis of symmetry is x equals 6, and the vertex is at 6, 2. All right, now I'm caught up. All right, so let's see if we can put all those bits and pieces again together. Here is a -4 out in front. I can tell you that means the parabola is going to open down because it's negative. Because that absolute value of -4 is 4, which is greater than 1, I know it's going to be more narrow than the basic parent. And here, this +2 is going to give me a horizontal shift that is going to go to the left 2. Remember, it's always in the opposite direction on the inside. And then this plus 3 out here is going to give me a vertical shift that is going to be up 3. On the outside, it's always in the corresponding same direction. So you want to begin by plotting the vertex. So I'm going to go left 2, up 3. That's going to be the vertex. Let me go up here and label this before I forget about it. I know the axis of symmetry is going to run right through here, and that is my balance line or my fold line. And then remember I said I like to pick a point, an x value that is somewhere just to the left of that axis of symmetry, or you can go just to the right. I'm going to go with a -1 here, and I'm just going to plot one more point. So when x is -1, now I'm going to do the arithmetic. So again, inside the parentheses first, exponents next, multiply next, and then do the adding or subtracting last. So f of -1 is equal to -1, which means the x-coordinate is -1, and that gives me a corresponding y-coordinate of -1. So I'm going to plot that point right there. And I immediately know, because of this axis of symmetry, that there's a balance point right across that axis of symmetry, which now gives me just enough information so I can give you a pretty decent sketch. And you'll notice it's opening down and it's relatively narrow. Okay, last one. Let's see, this is a positive 1/3 out here in front. This one is going to, I'm about to forget this first step. This one is going to open up because that 1/3 is positive. That 1/3 is a fraction. It gives me a value that is less than 1 when I look at its absolute value. So I know it's going to be wider than the basic parent. This plus 2, this minus 2 inside here tells me I'm going to have a horizontal shift to the right 2 units. And this -5 out here on the outside tells me that I'm going to have a vertical shift that's going to take us down 5 units. So again, let me start with the plus 2 minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there, that's going to be the vertex. Here is the axis of symmetry, which has an equation x equals 2. And then I'm going to choose a point. Oh, that one's kind of tricky. Let me see what I want to choose here. Yeah, nothing's going to be very easy. If I chose -1, well, I'll just go ahead and choose like I told you before, and you can see what happens here. I'm going to run into a fraction, but that's okay. So I think I'll choose, I said I like to choose just to the left or just to the right of the axis of symmetry. I'm going to choose positive 1 for x. So again, inside the parentheses first, squaring next, multiplication next, and addition and subtraction last. So the reason that I was sort of stumbling around, I knew I was going to run into a fraction here. But that's okay, we can just estimate. So when x is 1, y is negative 4 2/3, and that gives me that one additional point that I need. So let me go over 1 and let me go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and approximately 2/3. And then here's my balance point. I don't like where I put that. Hold on, let me undo that and try that again, right along in there. If you want, you can get another point. You might do, I chose x equals 1 that time. You might want to choose x equals 0 the next time. So again, you want to pick numbers for x that are close to the axis of symmetry. All right, so when I sketch this one, I hope you can see, whoops, what's that? Go away. And I'm just doing a rough sketch here. Hope you see that it's wider because of that multiplier of 1/3 out there in front. All right, so I hope that helps you with graphing parabolas.